You've been looking at the use of a new agent, adding it to standard therapy in patients who are relapsed or refractory with chronic lymphocytic leukemia. Why were you looking at this particular new agent, and what was the outlook? It's been difficult to add to standard therapy up to now, hasn't it?
So the new agent that we've done the trial with is a drug called venetoclax, formerly known as ABT199, and it's a targeted drug, oral medication taken daily. The target is the protein BCL2. BCL2, as people will know, is crucial for the survival of many blood cells, but particularly for the survival of chronic lymphocytic leukemia cells. So the hypothesis was that if we added venetoclax in combination with rituximab, that we would get more efficacy than we'd see with venetoclax alone or rituximab alone in people with relapsed chronic lymphocytic leukemia.
So could you describe the study to me?
So it's a phase 1b study. It was a dose-finding study between 200 milligrams per day and 600 milligrams per day of venetoclax, but each dose level was active in combination with rituximab. And so for the presentation here at EHA, we've combined all 49 patients for the efficacy analysis.
And what happened?
49 patients with relapsed or refractory CLL entered the trial. 41 out of 49 achieved an objective response. Impressively, 20 out of the 49 achieved a complete remission. And even more impressively, 13 people achieved a minimal residual disease negative complete remission.
Now, how much of that was due to the rituximab and how much to the venetoclax?
Rituximab typically has a response rate of about 20%, no one getting complete remissions. Venetoclax on its own achieves a complete remission rate in around the 20% range and an overall response rate in the high 70%. So most of the activity relates to the venetoclax, but comparing between single-arm trials, it looks to be that there's additive effect of rituximab to the venetoclax, particularly in terms of the depth of response we're getting.
Were there any added toxicities?
So we saw no added toxicities when we added the two agents together, and of course we saw the toxicity we saw them as single agents.
And what do you make of these findings then?
I think this is an important first step towards working out how best to use a BCL2 inhibitor like venetoclax. This provides strong evidence that you can combine it with another targeted agent such as rituximab. The depth and durability of the responses suggests that this may be a step to providing very good long-term outcomes for people who currently have poor outcomes.
Indeed, some of your patients didn't have to continue with treatment.
6 patients who achieved complete remission actually interrupted therapy and remained on study. The median follow-up on those patients is about 1.5 years. To date, 5 of the 6 patients remain in complete remission. Only 1 patient has had an asymptomatic indolent progression, and that is at the 2-year mark off medication.
What are you doing about the Tumorlysis syndrome? Because the drug's so effective, it can cause a problem.
Early on in the clinical development of venetoclax, we had problems with Tumorlysis. Typically, that was associated with using a dose of 50 milligrams or higher as the first dose given to patients with disease. We've learned that if you start with 20 milligrams and build up in a weekly ramp-up schedule to the target dose of 400 milligrams, the Tumorlysis is not a major clinical issue.
Clearly, phase 1b, we can't read too much into this yet, but you have got a marked efficacy signal. What do you think could become of this clinically?
The importance of this will be determined by a currently ongoing randomised phase 3 study that compares bendamustine plus rituximab in standard regimen versus venetoclax and rituximab using a regimen very similar to the one that we've done with this phase 1b study. I think that will put things in perspective. It may allow us to have a chemotherapy chemotherapy-free regimen as an alternative to chemotherapy-containing regimens.
So what do you advise cancer doctors to take home from the findings so far?
Look for a clinical trial to enrol your patients in this difficult disease group of patients, and look to see the results of the randomised trials with venetoclax, and look to see venetoclax being combined with other non-chemotherapy agents in the future as we look to find a way to cure CLL.